Can't get any worse. Podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse Podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all ripping into a fucking brilliant Tuesday today. Everyone's uplifted. Everyone's in a positive mood. We're all ready to tackle the week. Oh God, what a morning it is! School is back, ladies and gentlemen. School is back. We are back to school. Back to school. Bit of Billy Madison in your ear holes for a Tuesday morning. What is the next line of that? Back to school. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to do some 90s. Is that 90s or early 2000s movie recap? I think it's back to school to prove to dad I'm not a fool. That could be incorrect, but I'm going to Google that after. If I was a professional podcaster, I'd pull it up live on air, but I still don't have a designated button pusher. So, again, if you're in the southeast Queensland region, come on. Look, deep down, this is what I need to do, guys. I just need the podcast to start making enough money to pay for Adrian to have Mondays off work so he can come sit in here and be my button pusher. That's all we need, guys. So, I don't know, what's Adrian get paid for a Monday? Like $20? If someone wants to donate $20 a week, we can get Adrian to come here and pull up videos for me live, and we can do this shit for real. But yes, school is back, guys. School is back, and that means we should have an interruption-free episode today. Fingers crossed, unless the daycare calls me. Not daycare, what's fucking P in now? Kindy or something, I don't know. Unless they call me and be like, bro, P is causing havoc. And he was causing havoc when I dropped him off, guys. Oh God, buckle yourselves in for the most entitled child chat that you will hear this week. P does not like getting dressed for kindy, okay? He hates fucking going to kindy. We've been there. We've touched on that. We don't need to go through it again. So I'm trying to get him dressed this morning. I look over on my desk where my laptop is, and I see a $100 note, okay? Hey, I don't want to paint an illusion that I've just got these bad boys just floating around my house 24/7. This is a rarity. I'm pretty ready to frame that $100 note and be like, this is the last one I'm going to see in a while. And I purely got that off the back of hanging a couple of doors for the sister-in-law last week. Oh, God. How's this for payment? I'm happy with this payment, to be honest. This is a good fucking payment. So sister-in-law needed some internal doors hung, and they're like, what chippy do we know? Who can we get to come and hang some doors? Oh, James is a chippy. No, I'm not. There seems to be some big confusion in the world. Everyone just thinks I'm a chippy. But I go, okay, I'll give it a crack. Like I hung all our doors in our house. Look, they're not the best. Much like everything in this house. If you look too close, you will be like, oh my God, did an autistic kid on red cordial do all the work in this house? And yes, I did. I am said autistic kid on red cordial in this story. And so I go around there, and it just like, it was not a good day, okay? I've sold all my tools, so I didn't have all the right equipment to do the job. So I'm just making do with what we've got around there. And it ended up taking me like 2.5 hours or something to hang 2 doors. Fucking crazy shit. Anyway, they started to feel bad, and they're like, oh, what can we do? So my brother-in-law's cousin, I think it is, works for Culture Kings, and he just gets like free hats and shit that, I don't know, they get discontinued or something. I don't know the full story, but he gets all these free hats and stuff. And so my brother-in-law goes to his room. He pulls out like 2 hats that he's like, oh, you can have these ones. There's this one that I'm wearing right now and the one I wore last week. So if you're sitting there watching the episodes going, oh, James must have stumbled across some money. He's rocking some new hats. No, they're freebies. Anyway, I get the new hats, bring them home. And later that night, my sister-in-law texts Nikita and she's like, oh, did James look at the hats? And Nikita's like, yeah, I had a quick look at them. And like, I didn't really have a purpose to be wearing a hat that night, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't just going to put him on and walk around the house and be like, ooh, la-di-da, look at me. I'm a fancy man with a hat on. I don't even know what fucking voice that was. Hey, maybe that's what I'm going to be now. I'm going to be like a voice acting comedian. I'm just going to do silly little wacky voices on stage. But yeah, Nikita's like, oh yeah, he had a quick look at him, and her sister's like, okay, did you find anything? And Nikita's like, were we meant to? Anyway, we go have a closer look to the hat, and they've slipped $100 note in the inside of the hat. And I was like, oh fuck, 2 hats and $100. That could start being my full-time job. I reckon I could hang 2 doors a week for $100 and 2 hats. Let me have a sip, and then we're going to get back to the story. Anyway, the whole fucking the whole tangent from that $100 note. Let's get back to that. So to get P dressed this morning, I've looked over, I've seen the $100 note on my desk, and I've gone, hey P, give you this $100 note if you get dressed. Now, this is another cool thing. I mentioned last week or the week before that we've started trying to limit P's YouTube shit. We did the reset algorithm thing, okay? And now it's like he's got normal kid shit on there, which is actually good to see. He spent the entire weekend watching SpongeBob. And I used to be a bit of a fiend for SpongeBob. And yeah, it's a cool little thing that he's into now. Anyway, Mr. Krabs is obsessed with money. So I'm like, oh, money, money, money. And I give him the $100 note, stands there still, lets me get him dressed, and he's fucking holding on to this $100 note like anything. And I'm like, okay, it's keeping him quiet. It's getting him to do what I need him to do. Drive him to school, go to get out of the car. He's still got the $100 note. I go, oh, P, you're just going to have to slip that in your door or something so you can have it after school. And he's like, no, I'm taking it to school. And I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this, buddy, but you can't take a $100 note to school. And he's gone, yeah, I can. And I've gone, you can't. A, because someone will probably steal it. And B, I don't want the teachers looking at me like I'm fucking some rich podcasting comedian dad. And they're just going, look at this fucking entitled dickhead, just sending his son to school with a $100 note. Like, most people send him to school with teddy bears and shit. This fuckwit sends him with a $100 note. And that's not who I am, okay? Anyway, I have to rip it out of his hands. And that started, that was the first tip of the domino for the worst drop-off ever. So not only did I know it was going to be a shitty drop-off because it was the first day back for school, so everyone's trying to get back in routine and shit, but yeah, P just was not having it. He was kicking his feet. He was fucking... Oh, it was not good, guys. So it is a pleasure to be back in the studio, lacing your eardrums with whatever the fuck this is. I'm not going to sit here and go, this is the best podcast you're ever going to hear. But we're having fun, okay? We're having fun. I'm in here. I'm venting. This is my counseling for the week. And you guys are here to listen to it. And as I say every week, I fucking appreciate it. So thank you, guys. Going to touch a little bit at the end of the show as well of some wacky and out there ideas that I've got coming along. But what else has happened this week? Okay. I'm just trying to work out how to order these because there is one of them. It could be one of the biggest fucking pranks that my kids have ever pulled on me. And I think I might end with that, I think. So let's start on this one. Let's start on a bit of a serious one. So I've mentioned... Oh, come at me fucking, here we go. Child services are going to hear this. They're going to burst through my door on the next episode and they're just going to arrest me, okay? I've said I've got 2 boys, okay? And their favorite thing to do in life is absolutely beat the fuck out of each other. And when they're not beating the fuck out of each other, they're beating the fuck out of me. My 4-year-old son, 5 actually now, this morning, before the whole tantrum thing, goes, hey, Dad, can I have a double high five? Puts both his hands out like this. And I've gone, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So I go to slap both his hands. And as I've gone like this, he's punched me right in the dick. And I've gone, you little fucker. But anyway, another little side note. Anyway, we're sitting there the other night. What were we even doing? Oh, that's right. We're watching a movie or something and we're having some sneaky dinner on the couch. And both the boys just had usual kid shit, some chicken nuggets. And for whatever reason, Westy was poking P. P was in P's defense, okay, he was sitting there, he was trying to watch the movie, he's trying to eat his dinner, he's just chilling there, and Westy decides to get up and just steal all his nuggets off his plate and go and like sit down and hide them under his shirt. And I've gone, Westy, why are you doing that? Like, you know, it's hard to get him to eat as it is. And Westy's sitting there laughing, and P goes, give me my nuggets. And P goes, give me my nuggets, and Westy goes, mm-mm. So P gets up and he starts to do the usual punching and choking and all that sort of shit of Westy. And I've said this before, if Parker gets into jiu-jitsu, we've got a world champ on our hands, okay? We have a Misson receiving the gold medal. Now that jiu-jitsu's in the UFC, now that they got like a little branch, we could have a heavyweight jiu-jitsu champion with the last name Misson if Parker just sucks it up and starts going to lessons. He proceeds to beat the fuck out of Westy, okay? Now, before Westy did this, before he stole the nuggets, he already had one nugget in his mouth that he's chewing, okay? Parker, in between beating the fuck out of him, monkeys his way around onto Westy's back. And I've gone, oh, good transition, son. Joe Rogan would froth over that one. And then he wraps his arms around Weston's throat and then starts choking him. Weston drops to the ground. P transitions again. Transitions to a fucking top mount. And he's sitting on Weston's chest, both hands choking Westy, as it like Homer Simpson to Bart Simpson style. And then I've gone, nah, P, get off, ripped him off, because obviously that's too far. And Westy proceeds to stand up and just start coughing his lungs out. And I was like, oh, come on, buddy, you're being fucking dramatic. But then his face starts to go like purple, and I'm like, oh shit, this is serious. So mid-choke, he must have tried to swallow a nugget or something, and this thing has got jammed in his fucking throat. It was like my kids have never had one of those weird moments where you hear parents be like, oh, my son swallowed a coin or something like that, you know? So I never really had any of those moments. So this was the first real one. So I'm like, do I do the Heimlich? Do I pat his back? What do I do? So I'm patting his back. It's not doing anything. Now Nikita's up. She's getting involved as well. She's behind him. And I'm like, fuck. I cannot stand like vomit. Like people throwing up and stuff like that. It is my kryptonite. I cannot be in the room with someone. Like both Nikita's pregnancy, she had hyperemesis, which is constant morning sickness 24/7. And like just trying to be supportive for her the whole time, just like patting her back, but like leaning my head out the door. Oh, mate, can you guys have some sympathy for me? That was a really hard time for me, okay? Anyway, I'm like, all right, parent mode's got to kick in. I've got to suck it up for the sake of my son's life. I get my two fingers and I just fucking jam them down Westy's throat, and I'm trying to like scoop the nugget out. Little did I know, after I spoke to brainy Adrian the following day, he's like, probably shouldn't do that in case you jam the nugget down further. And I was like, oh, fuck. Even while I'm trying to be a good parent, I'm not a fucking good parent. So you can't win being a parent, can you? Anyway, luckily for me, I suppose, I didn't do the wedge down the throat. I hooked it somehow, probably from these expert fingering skills. Oh, fuck me. I am on a loose one today. Anyway, I hook the nugget out and he starts breathing normally again. And I was like, holy fuck, that was stressful. But yeah, crazy times. Anyone that's got two boys, I'm sure you will fucking understand where I'm coming from right there. What else has happened this week? Oh yeah, let's rip onto this one. Again, I don't know. I often think this, okay? When I stop recording, sometimes I sit back and I go, are my kids going to appreciate these stories coming out about them in fucking 10 years or something? Like, fair enough. I've said some of Westy's friends have stumbled across the podcast or something somehow, and they're like, oh, we watch you on YouTube. And I'm like, in 10 years when they're in like high school and stuff, is this going to come back to bite them? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, I better fucking make it big before then, so at least they can cruise up to school in their Lambos or something and be like, I don't give a fuck. At least we got a Lambo. Instead of like a 1960 Commodore just cruising up and being like, hey, Westy, we heard your dad talk about your dick this week in the garage. Oh, lordy. I think too much. Anyone else think too much? I do. But here's a slightly embarrassing story for the kids when they grow up and in 10 years' time it comes back to bite them. But Westy, I'm trying, I don't even remember. I've written like the sentence of what the story's about, but I'm trying to remember how it all came about. I'm pretty sure since the whole like ensuite incident where the shower head fell on Parker, for whatever reason, well, I know the reason. Both kids are too scared to shower in there now, which is sweet. Whatever. And I thought that was going to be a good thing. I was like, oh, Nikita and I have got our ensuite back. We can have our bathroom. The boys can have their bathroom. And for whatever reason, oh God, now that I'm saying this out loud, it is the clear reason. I'm going to go to Woolworths today and I'm going to fix the issue, okay? Nikita and I started showering in the main bathroom also, purely for the reason that all like the soaps and shampoos and regular showering like liquids and shit are now in that bathroom because the kids use it. So I'm not going to shower the kids in there and then carry all that back to the ensuite. Like I'm just going to shower in the main bathroom. So that's what we've all been doing. The ensuite is just there for looks at this point. And the other night, Nikita and the kids were chilling in our room. I've gone to have a shower in the main bathroom, but I forgot to take my pajamas, okay? So I've done the old wrap a towel around, walk back into the room, and I suppose Westy is at that age where he's like what's the word? I was about to say investigative, but that's not a word. Investigatory? I don't know. Interested about things, okay? So I've walked in, no shirt on, but towel hiding all the important bits, okay? And it just led into a lesson that I did not expect to have on like a Wednesday night or something like that, okay? He looks at me, he goes, oh, Dad, why do you have so much hair and I have no hair? And like, I'm not like a bear under here, but I have a regular amount of male body hair, okay? I don't want you guys to paint an illusion that I'm just some sort of warthog under here, okay? And I'm like, oh, it's just what happens when you grow up. And then he's like, why do you have so much hair under your armpits? And I was like, again, it just happens. You start growing hair in all these weird places and stuff the older you get. He's like, where else do you go? Oh, good. He goes, where else do you grow hair? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I was trying to get out of it. I didn't want to talk about it. Luckily, Nikita was in the room and she did the correct parenting thing. And she's like, oh, when like Dad said, when you get older, you start getting hair in all these weird places and blah, blah, blah. And like he's started to get hairy legs and stuff. So we're like, oh, see how you got hair on your legs now? He's like, yeah. So that'll start growing everywhere. And obviously, Westy has seen me naked at some point. And he comes out and he's like, why does Daddy... Oh, God, I might just cut this out of the episode. He goes, why does Dad have like hair down there? And Nikita's going, and now she's fucking frozen as well. She's like, how the fuck do I address this? So she said something about, that's called pubic hair. And Westy's going, oh, okay. Will I get that? And Nikita's like, yeah, everyone gets that. And then Parker's in the room as well. And he just starts running around and he's like, pubit hair. Like he was adding a T instead of a C. And it just fucking folded me. I was like, oh my God. And he's just like cruising around yelling. He's like, hey, Dad, nice pubit hair. And I'm like, God, please stop this. But anyway, the lead up to that crescendo was so much better than the outcome. But I just need you guys to sit back and picture an 8-year-old finding out that he is eventually going to have hairy balls and then his 5-year-old brother running around calling it pubit hair. Oh, God. Anyway, what else we got up here? All right, let's rip into it. This is the story. Quite possibly the best prank my children have ever pulled on me, okay? And it is 100% karma, and I'll tell you why after the story, okay? Nikita comes home from work the other day. She's got a couple of cans of Coke and for our dinner, a little treat, little special sugary treat, okay? So we're drinking the Coke, and then I've probably got like a quarter left, I would imagine. And Nikita goes, oh, fuck, can you pop to the corner shop and get something for the kids' lunches tomorrow? So I've gone, yeah, sweet. I'll just leave the Coke on the bench. It'll be a nice little treat for when I get back from the shop. So I've gone to the shop, done what I got to do. I come home, blah, blah, blah. I'm fucking around. And then I look at the bench. My Coke's gone. And I've gone, oh, where's my Coke? And the boys are in the shower. So I go into the shower. Well, I go into the bathroom. And Westy's got my can of Coke in the shower. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, there goes my nice sugary treat I was looking forward to. And Westy goes, here, Dad, have a drink of your Coke. And I'm like, no, I can see you've got it in the shower. You're filling it with hot water. And he's going, no, please, Dad, have your drink of your Coke. I'm like, dude, I don't feel like drinking hot water. Like, that's gross. And he would not drop it. So then, again, I've had to do the good dad thing. And I've gone, all right, pass it here, pretending to be the dumbest cunt in the world. So I get the Coke and I go to lift it up and I put it on my lips and I go to tip it up. Now, I want to emphasize no liquid hit my lips, okay? Now, as I've gone to tip it up, Weston has completely lost it. He's fallen to the floor of the shower laughing, and Parker's laughing as well now. So I've dropped the can back down and I've gone, what are you guys laughing at? And Weston looks at me, stops laughing for a couple of seconds, and he's like, I peed in the can. And I've gone, no, you fucking didn't. And he goes, I did, I promise. And I've gone, you better not have. Because I felt the can and it was warm, but I was under the impression it was warm from the warm shower water filling the can, okay? I did not think my 8-year-old son would piss in a can and give it to his own father. Like, that is treachery at its finest. So I peek around the corner, I go, babe, what is in this can? And she goes, I'm pretty sure Westy pissed in it. Why? And I've gone, and no one thought to tell me. I was the last one in on this little joke. And she goes, why? Did you drink some? And I'm like, and I've gone, no, I want to get that out there. I want to preface this by saying I did not drink any, but I 100% put the can on my lips. He's 8. He would not have I see how much piss he gets on the toilet floor, okay? He 100% would have pissed all over and around the lip of that can. And I've just put that bad boy on my lips and I've just had a little taste of my own son's piss. If you want a bonding experience with your son, taste a can of his own piss, okay? It was disgusting. I fucking lost it. And after I calmed down, I was like, this is complete karma. Remember, I came on the podcast and I told the guys about this funny time. We're at the basketball courts and there was this kid in our group that most of the other guys in our group liked him, but I was never a huge fan. He bought a can of V up to the basketball court one day and I thought it'd be funny to piss in his can. And then he did the exact same thing and I fucking lost it. I was like, this is hilarious. And now every little prank Westy does, it's like looking in a fucking mirror. I've done it to myself, guys. I've done it to myself. So I've got no one else to blame but me. But what else has happened this week? There's one last thing to touch on for my week that was. I should come up with a proper segment name for that. Just going to have a little sip. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. So, Wednesday night, State of Origin happened, and I took a little cruise down the M1 back to the Mayraki podcast studios, where I did a little live stream collaboration with the boys. So, part of me, look, this was flying around the group chat for since Origin 2, I think, because the boys stumbled across the fact that I go for the Blues. And then they stumbled across the other fact of I was born in Queensland, but I support the Blues, yada, yada, fucking yada. And I've just had to have this argument my entire life. Now, I said this on the night, and the boys didn't believe me, but they were just like, oh, James is just being a little fucking bitch. But although I support the Blues, I don't really, I've never been oh, blue till I die or I bleed blue or anything like that. In all honesty, I find people that are fucking that, emotional and tied into State of Origin, I find them to be the biggest fucking losers I've ever met. And I'm sorry if any of you guys are listening, but if that's the one time of the year where you're just oh, yeah, fucking let's go Queenslander, I just can't stand it, okay? And I said this on the night. I go, I do not give a fuck who wins. I just want to see a good game of footy. And I think that's what Origin is at the end of the year. It's the spectacle of NRL. It is all the best players on the field at the same time, just playing the best footy you'll see. Like, just rough and tumble, hard hits, good fucking runs. That's what it is at the end of the day. And I said to them, I'm like, my bet of the night is like the fairy tale bet. I've bet on Queensland to win, Cameron Munster to score, and Cameron Munster to win man of the match after fucking last week when his old man died, and I just thought it was going to be this big fairy tale thing. So at least he got the win. He got to captain his team to a win, and that was all good scenes. So absolutely stoked for him. And went down there for the live stream. Part of me didn't really want to do it, but I was like, I haven't really been doing much the last few weeks, and we're going to get into that. So I'm like, just go fucking do it. It'll be a bit of fun. You'll get to hang out with Ty and Maddie and Jesse that came on the podcast last week. But I've mentioned on here a few times that I want to get into live streaming, particularly UFCs. I think that is probably the next step I want to take of like the UFC breakdowns. I then want to do like a live UFC watch party, but I don't know. I'm just trying to work out how that would all play about, whether I do it solo, whether I get someone in, whether I fucking, I don't know. It's all ideas at this stage, but I reckon, what are we up to this week? We're 319, UFC 319. I reckon by UFC 321, we will have like a live watch party, whether it's me solo watching the fights with you guys in the chat, or whether I get someone in here to bounce banter off while we watch the fights. Don't know yet. It's all a work in progress. But, I've been dabbling in the live stream world for a long time, and I just wanted, like, the live stream thing to be bang on, and it was fun. Just sit down there and fucking fumbled my words. Shoot the... oh, my God. Why can't I get this out? Shoot the shit with those boys. It was a good group of lads to get together, watch the footy. The live stream aspect of it, yes, we had the camera on, but I don't know if we maximized the live stream enough. And in fairness, we had fuck all viewers, so there wasn't really much we could do, because when you live stream, you do bounce off the chat a little bit. And there were moments where we had one person watching us, so it definitely would have been hard to do that. But there were points where the four of us were just scrolling on our phone, which would have, I don't blame anyone for not tuning in, okay? So it was fun to dabble in the live stream and get a few fucking ideas of what I can do differently and things like that. And I'll probably even eventually get a few of those boys on to do some live streams with and stuff, which I think will be cool. But before it, Maddie goes, I've got a special guest coming. And I was like, here we go. Who's it going to be? And in the back of my head, I know Maddie is good mates with Jeremy Lattimore, okay? And I was like, that'd actually be pretty cool to watch State of Origin with an ex-NRL player, get his fucking insights, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, this will be cool. Regardless of what happens, be cool to meet Lats, yada, yada, yada. I get down there, and I forgot that Maddie was also good mates with another fucking legend. As I pull into the street, there's only one park, and it's behind this red van. And I've gone, I know that red van. It is from a bloke that was supposed to come on the podcast a couple months ago, but he has now proceeded to tour around Australia doing eating challenges. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the eating fucking champion himself, Jimmy Judge. So if you're not all over him, jump on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere and just look this bloke up, and he's an animal when it comes to eating challenges. Westy has been obsessed with him since he fucking found out about him on Thursday, just watching video after video, to the point Westy made me go to the fish and chip shop on Thursday night and buy like $3 worth of hot chips. And Westy's like, all right, set the camera up. I'm going to see how quickly I can eat these chips. Oh, God, he got one mouthful in and he's like, oh, this is hard. I'm like, yeah, 100%. But anyway, so Jimmy Judge was a special guest, and it was sick to finally meet him in person and firm up a podcast, which will be coming, when did we say? I think it's like August or September, maybe. He's fucking 10 minutes from my house doing an eating challenge, so works in well for both of us. So that will be coming eventually, but we're sitting there watching the footy, and he goes, do you guys want to do an eating challenge at halftime? And we were like, fucking oath. Why wouldn't we want to do an eating challenge with the best. So he goes, let's just do the Happy Meal challenge. And I've gone, okay, what's that? And it's fucking obvious, isn't it, dickhead? You got to eat a Happy Meal as quick as you can, a cheeseburger Happy Meal. So cheeseburger, chips, and Coke. And the goal is to get it in under a minute, okay? Which I heard that and I was like, piece of piss. Like, in my head, I can smash a Happy Meal quicker than fucking anything. And I go, or someone goes, how quick have you done it? And he goes, 28 seconds. Which is insane when you think about that, okay? That video is on his Instagram. Go check it out. Just the way that he inhales food. And I've gone, I'll easily get this under a minute then. It is so deceiving how hard it is to eat quickly. And so the four of us, we all got together and timer goes off. And straight away, I was like, I don't want to go too hard and seem like a disgusting pig on camera. And B, I don't know. I haven't tried to eat fast in a long time. Here's a fun fact for you guys. We had a hot dog eating contest at my high school. Took that bad boy out. I forget what exactly I did, but everyone was like, oh, wow, that's incredible. Like, hang on, let me rephrase that. All the boys were like, oh, wow, that was so cool. James is a fucking animal. And all the chicks were just like, ew, that was disgusting. Which, to be fair, that's what most of them said about me all day, every day anyway. But, yeah, Ty from the roads we've walked ended up taking it out. He got the win with, I think it was a minute 19. Don't quote me. But, again, this video is on Instagram. I think I checked yesterday. It's got like 50,000 views or something, which is insane. And, yeah, I ended up coming in second at like a minute 25 or something. Again, don't quote me. Go back and look. So, yeah, that was sick. It was sick to be a part of it. Sick that Jimmy would suggest that and then throw us up on his socials, tag us all on it. And, yeah, just a bit of fun for a Wednesday night. So, ended up being a really cool night. Blues lost, which, in all honesty, we all knew it was going to happen. We knew Cam Munster was going to have a fucking blinder and Queensland was going to get up for him. So, as I said, doesn't bother me as long as it's a good game of footy. Let's rip into my week in comedy. We could probably sum my week in comedy up in one word. Nada. Another week with no gigs. And to be fair, this is the first week where it has well and truly fucked with my head. This was one of the darkest fucking worst weeks I've had in a very long time. To the point, Nikita made me pull my phone out yesterday. Nikita made me pull my phone out yesterday and she's like, you need to message some people and go, I need a comedy gig. But I don't know what it is, there's something in the back of my head and I don't know if it's all these new jokes that I've written. I said last week, I think they're the funniest shit I've ever written, but hand in hand with the funniest shit I've ever written, they're probably the most open and personal jokes that I've written. So I said that when I said I was stalling writing the show, it's because yes, all my stupid little dick jokes that I've done for the last 3 years do come from a little bit of truth behind the joke. This stuff is straight down the barrel, stories of my life, punched up with funny little fucking tags and stuff. So it's now that it's done, it's that point where people have to hear it. And I'm I don't know if I want anyone to hear it. And yeah, I think I was just using the show as an excuse to not book gigs and just fucking have a quiet time. But yes, I have reached out to some people, some rooms, give me some spots, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully as of next week, we will have some more shit for this segment. So yeah, I don't know. I think definitely need to get on stage. And that's the other thing. I've had so much time off now. I think I've had 2.5 weeks between gigs, that's the longest I've had off since I started doing comedy. And I think that's the other shitty part that I hated myself for this week is that is one thing from when I started. I was just as long as you do not stop doing it, shit can't get worse. You know what I mean? Can't get any worse. Sponsor. But then I just fucking let myself down and just had that big break in between gigs. So now I'm at that point where I'm like petrified to get back on stage. Like that seems like the scariest thing I could ever imagine. And you hear comedians and stuff talk about if you do stop doing it, it's almost like you forget how to do it in a way. So I am expecting that first time back on stage just to be the most brutal fucking bombing I could ever experience. So do not come to that gig whenever that is. Actually, I do have a gig to plug at the end of this. So yes, as of next week, we will have a week in comedy segment again. So let's rip into a segment that we can fill this week. Turns out it can get worse. So I actually forget what videos I have loaded for this week. While I am looking at that, take another little sip. Okay. I've just called this one Balloon. Let's, why did that not open? Oh, there we go. Drag this across. Let's see what this bloke's doing.
For balloons, it's also a sexual love. When I see a beautiful balloon, my heart starts to flutter and I get aroused.
Oh.
I'll take a 12-inch and I'll inflate it to 11-inch. That way it can take a lot of abuse. I'm holding one, hugging it. I'll kiss it. And it's like being in heaven. I mean, don't you like to hug and kiss a woman that you love?
Holy fuck. That is one lonely man. That brings a whole new definition to pounding a balloon knot. Oh, I'm proud of that one. Okay? Clip it up. That could be the turns out it can get worse for the week. But yeah, fuck me. Falling in love with balloons, that's a whole new level. I thought I was disappointed with myself this week for not doing any comedy. At least I'm not having sex with balloons. What do we got next? I'm not even going to say what I've titled this one because that just gives it away. So, all right, we've got a bloke with his shirt off. What could he possibly be doing?
Like eat 2 or 3 spoonfuls because,
Okay.
well, it really stinks. But I've never had diarrhea, and I really want to try to eat it
Oh, no.
because I so badly want to say I've eaten diarrhea.
Why? Oh. Bro, nobody is making you do this. Why? What is the... I cannot think of any reason why someone would want to eat their own diarrhea. That is fucking disgusting. I'm sorry for even bringing that one to the table. I'll admit that one potentially was a fraction too far. Turns out it can get worse. All right. Then we've got this bad boy. What is this one? All right, just a kid in his bedroom.
Damn, shawty, open that clam up. Let me see that pearl.
Oh, what a pin. Oh my God, that's fucking insane. What a fucking player. Let me see that clam, shorty. Oh my God, that was me. That was me when I was 16 years old. But that brings us to the end of Turns Out It Can Get Worse, guys. I hope you got a bit of pleasure out of those weird guys on the internet. Now let's rip into some little things that have caught my eye this week. This guy actually has taken over the internet. Now, I'm a little cautious as to how much of this I actually play because I feel like I could get done for copyright. But I hear so many podcasts play like full songs these days and they don't get in trouble. So I'm just going to roll with it. Worst case, I've got to clip it out of the YouTube video. So there is this kid cruising around YouTube at the moment. His name is Tyler. He may have popped up on your feeds if you're on TikTok. And he's just being called like Tyler Cruz or something like that. Now it is this white kid. I'll admit it. He's a pretty cool looking white kid. He's got his hat backwards. And he's on a Caribbean cruise over in America, okay? Now, they do karaoke on these cruises. They do comedy. They do bingo. They do all these fun activities. Now, it is the karaoke show on this cruise, and the audience is just full of urban women, okay? And straight away, I didn't know this until I saw this video. I didn't even know this song, but Nikita knew it. So it must be some sort of like chick song that chicks were obsessed with in the 90s. Turns out this song is like a bit of a cult classic in the black community, okay? And it is, what's it called? The bloke's name's Keith Sweat, and I forget the name of the song. But anyway, all these chicks are doubting this little white boy straight off the bat. And I'll admit it, I showed Nikita and I fell into the trap of TikTok. I was like, this kid has an amazing voice. And Nikita's like, it's not that amazing. It's just like, it's better than what you were expecting to come out of his voice. So I'm just going to hit play and just watch the way that he wins this room over. Everyone, there is a longer video as well. If you want to watch the full video, search like full version on TikTok, and it just shows like the dude running the karaoke. He goes, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like this could go horribly wrong." And just all the women in the crowd are just writing him off. They're like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And then he just fucking unleashes with this.
I wanna tease you. Treat you like me, my baby. Nobody, baby.
Fucking hell. I got a bit of joy out of that, but just watching him rock that stage, and now he's blown the fuck up on TikTok. He's doing like TikTok lives and stuff. He met the singer that did that song and they like did a little collab. So shout out to Tyler. I don't even know his last name, but yeah, it had like 2.1 million views or something from the last time I checked. So yeah, I thought that was fucking sick. I thought it's been a while since I brought a video like that to the table. Wouldn't mind doing a little bit more of stuff like that. So let's rip in from one white boy to another. It's a fucking white boy winter here in Australia at the moment. Guys, if there is one thing I mentioned, I had a bit of a down week this week, okay? Now, what in the world could possibly break me out of my bad mood? I don't know. Maybe one of my secret man crushes of all time, Justin Bieber, comes out with a surprise new album, just drops that bad boy on us. Justin Bieber has dropped his new album called Swag, okay? Holy fuck. And look, I know I say this a lot. I know I come on and I'm like, oh, this could be the best album of all time. I have not been able to stop playing this whole album from start to finish. There is not one song on there that I'll skip. And again, it's split the internet. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I think it's absolutely unreal. I think it's like the first album where I was listening. I'll say this, okay? I listened to it the first time, the whole way through, and I was just waiting for like the song to come that is his every album. He's got like 3 or 4 big radio hits, okay? And I was listening to this whole album. I'm like, okay, this is a cool song. Maybe the next one will be the big radio hit. Get to that one. No, okay, keep going. They were all just fucking cool songs. None of them were like, oh, okay, I'll hear the radio blast this into the ground for the next 6 months. And I sat back and I probably didn't have this thought personally until I started reading it on the internet. And this seems like the first album that Justin Bieber's released that is like his own album, if that makes sense. Like this is not some big record label pushing him to go, all right, you need to win over the 12-year-old girls again. You need to win over the rap community. You need to win over this community. Because we've seen him dabble in all that. Whereas this album just seems to be all shit that he's wanted to do. And I fucking love it. I love it. There's so many cool little secret tiers and shit in it as well if you go down that rabbit hole on TikTok. Another cool thing, Yukon, which I think is like the 3rd or 4th track, co-written by Eminem, which it's not like a look. If I was going to see them collab on a song, I would have hoped for something briefly better. But it is just a cool, slow song, and to know that Eminem's input was somewhere in there, it's a pretty cool little thing. Just 2 white boys working together. So yeah, look. I've pumped it up. If there was one negative thing to take from it, I do wish that what's the song called? Sweet something? Sweet Love, or I don't know. But the song he does with Sexy Red, I hope he re-releases that as a single without Sexy Red on it. She just completely ruins that song. If she wasn't on that song and JB did like another verse just on his own, that could go down as like the fucking one of the best songs I've heard in the last 10 years. So yeah, go give that a listen. Swag by Justin Bieber. If you haven't listened, oh boy, get ready. Get fucking ready. The other album that I've been in between that one, the brief moments that I've been trickling since Friday, and this one, like, I just gave it a listen just for reminiscence sake, if that makes sense. Nostalgia. Juice WRLD, his 5-year anniversary of Legends Never Die. And obviously Juice WRLD's dead now. I've spoken about it on the podcast before, and it was just cool to go back and listen to what, again, is a fucking unbelievable album. Like, I heard this again, but this wasn't about Juice WRLD. This was about like Biggie and Tupac and stuff. And I heard someone breaking it down on Instagram or TikTok, and they were like, do you think they would have had as much of a like effect or mark on society if they didn't die that young? Like, if they kept going and they, like, before they died, obviously fucking hit after hit after hit, what if they got to like their 4th or 5th albums or something, and then it started to go down? Like, would you still hold them on as high of a pedestal? So yeah, that made me think a little bit about Juice WRLD and stuff, because you hear people like Eminem again. Eminem came out and he was like, Juice WRLD is one of the best rappers that I've ever heard. So it makes you think, would he have kept that legacy going on, or would he have had a downfall? But guess we'll never know. Legends Never Die. There we go. I just said the album name because I'm fucking cool like that. Anyway, we have a UFC breakdown coming this Thursday, so get ready for that one. But I was going to talk about this on there, but I'm like, it's not really UFC, so let's just fill the back end of this episode with this. BKFC, Bare Knuckle Fight Championships, I guess. I don't actually know what the C stands for. Anyway, Conor McGregor, now part owner, and he is pretty well the front man now for running that whole organization, and he is killing it. He came out this week and he did this big press conference, got all these new fighters that he signed, and the dude, unleashes one of the best promos in so long. Like, old school Conor McGregor, just straight down the barrel of the camera, selling ice to Eskimos. Anyway, let's start on the good stuff. Let's start on the good stuff. He announces a tournament, a $25 million BKFC World's Baddest Man tournament. Now, I didn't want to get any facts wrong, so I left the website open. So it is a tournament that is open to all male fighters ranging from 185 pounds to 266 pounds. So pretty much no weight classes in between that. So you can weigh whatever, you can be fucking however big you want. And there are 32 men competing in an elimination style tournament to win the $25 million, which unreal. So yeah, Conor has titled that the world's baddest man, which I think fucking fits it perfectly. If you're not already bad enough to go in the cage bare knuckle and beat the fuck out of each other, I don't know who is badder than you. Anyway, then he announced some crazy signings. So BKFC has now signed all these UFC, I don't know if you want to call them legends, but big names at points of their career. First one, Yoel Romero, an absolute phenomenal beast. He is a specimen of a man. You look at that guy and you go, I think I might be like 4% gay. Then we have Aspen Ladd. To be fair, I never saw this in the cards for Aspen Ladd. She has signed up to do bare knuckle fighting, which I don't know. We'll see how she goes. Derek Brunson and Thiagos Santos, who fought John Jones at one point, I'm pretty sure, in light heavyweight. those are all unbelievable signings for BKFC. Conor McGregor in this whole press conference, here's the negative shit, okay? Clearly fucking coked off his mind. He is on another planet right now. And that's probably half the reason why he can just go on these tangents, just spin this fucking salesman pitch. Like, he had me on the edge of my seat going, oh my God, maybe I'll sign up to do bare knuckle fighting. And then Mike Perry is there, ready to announce his next fight. And Mike Perry and Conor McGregor, they had beef back in the UFC. And it was always one of those fights that never really eventuated. And they start having a bit of a banter in this press conference. Conor walks up to him. They're both on their feet, nose to nose. And Conor's like, you have this fight to get through. You're going to dance for me, boy. You're going to show me that you're worth my time. And he is just fucking belittling Mike Perry, the guy that is seen as like Mr. Bare Knuckle Fighting, the dude who has pretty well put it on a map, if we had to say. And Jesus Christ, after seeing how fucked up Conor McGregor was at this press conference, I think I'm now in the same state of mind as everyone else. I do not see him fighting again. He's mentioned the White House thing. I'm going to break that down a bit more on the UFC breakdown this week because that does relate to the UFC. But in terms of BKFC world, yeah, that's probably that press conference and all those announcements and stuff. That's probably got me the most excited I've been about bare knuckle fighting. Like, I've dabbled in a little bit. I've watched some of it here and there, but holy fuck, those signings, that tournament, and Conor McGregor just getting in Mike Perry's face, he's definitely the man that you need to make that as big as it can possibly be. But anyway, let's go from one fighter to another. Let's play our motivational clip for the week. This one popped up this week. I thought it was a good one from Mr. Tyson Fury. So if you haven't listened to Tyson Fury on the Joe Rogan Experience from, that must be ages ago now. Probably like, I don't know, 8 years ago if I had to throw a dart. But just a crazy, crazy episode about how the world heavyweight boxing champion of the world can have it all. Like, he spoke about a story where he's in his Ferrari and he was just like, all right, this is it, I'm done, and just fucking put the foot down, and he was heading straight for the edge of a bridge, and somehow, so he's become heavily spiritual from all this, which is, like, this video has a bit of, like, God stuff in it. Do of that with what you will. But yeah, it's just a cool little video of who was seen as, like, the heavyweight boxing champion of the world is quite often seen as, like, the baddest man on the planet. So to see they struggle with head noise and shit as well, pretty cool shit. So let's just hit play on it.
People think that to come back from a mental health issue like yours, you need psychiatric care and medication. And you're saying you did it with setting goals and hard work.
And the biggest thing we're missing here is I didn't do it with doctors and all them type of things. I done it with something way more powerful. God.
So your faith and your belief.
My faith and belief that God would make me better made me better.
So yeah,
Most
I thought
people
that.
think
Fuck,
that to come
sorry,
back
play
from
on it again. I thought that was a cool little video. So yeah, shout out to Tyson Fury. We'll get him on the podcast one day, guys. Shows to plug this week. Like I said, UFC breakdown for 319 dropping this Thursday. Holy fuck, there is going to be tears for this fight card. If you call yourself a UFC fan and you are not sitting there this Sunday to watch Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway, don't call yourself a fucking UFC fan anymore. When Dustin makes his final walk, oh God, it is going to be some emotional times. And actually, that's all I'm going to say now. Tune into the episode on Thursday to find my final thoughts. But in terms of gigs, we are back on the comedy train. So Monday, July 21st, I'll be at the Newmarket Hotel for sit-down comedy for their open mic. I'm going to try and get some new bits ready for that, some bits from the show. So for the first time, please do not come and watch that gig because, like I said, I'm going to be rusty as fuck up there. I'm going to have zero confidence and I'm going to be running new bits that may or may not work. So got that one. Then the night before, Sunday, July 20th, we have Distillery Road Market for West Park Productions. I'm not on that lineup, so I've outsourced the MC work to another hilarious comedian in the scene. Just thought I'd mix it up a little bit there. So that'll be a fun night. I'll still be there. So if you want to come and just fucking chill out and have a chat with me, I will be kicking it around there. Saturday the 26th of July, we will be back at Sunny's at Margate. So that is our new little trial show at, I think it's 1:30 kickoff. So little afternoon show there. I think last check there was about 25 to 30 tickets left. So jump in there because it's looking like that one will sell out again before the day rolls around. Then Friday, August 1st, we're back at the Orion Hotel for West Park as well. Haven't actually checked ticket sales for that one, but again, last few shows have sold out. I'm assuming this one will do the same because they are eating the comedy up out there at, where is that? Springfield. Other than that, guys, send any submissions. If you want to have a chat to the show, if you want to fucking, just have a chat to me, even if you don't want it played on the show or whatever. If you want to send a voice note, flick it through via DM on Instagram or at cantgetanyworsepod@gmail.com. A little thought I did have the last week or two. I did try this way back early in the day. So you guys let me know if you think this is a good idea or not. But I'm thinking about opening like the phone lines again or voice memo lines to hear your guys can't get any worse stories for the week. So whether that be, fucking Gary at work shat on my tools this week and I fucking punched him in the throat and lost my job, can be something from that to, mate, it's a bit of a serious one this week. I don't know, had a bit of a fucking mental health scare and, things like that. So send me a DM or fucking anything, any form of communication this week, whether you think that'll be good or not. And you can send those voice notes for now until it's a locked in thing. If you want to send those voice notes on Instagram to Can't Get Any Worse Podcast in DM form, and just let me know underneath. If you want it to be played on the show, I'll bring it to the show. If you just want it to be between you and me, like my DMs are always open. If anyone wants to have a chat, and a lot of you guys listening right now are in regular touch with me at the moment, which is, it's fucking sick to finally be talking to you guys that do listen to me every week and know that like there was a stage where I was like, are these real people listening to me? So to have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of you that reach out to me weekly now and be like, this part of the show folded me at work this week, or I had to pull over because this part was making me laugh so fucking hard. Like, that's good to hear. Like, that is what I wanted to hear from the very start of this podcast. So to know that we are now, what are we, 167 episodes in, and now it's finally coming to fruition, just makes all those episodes where it felt like I was talking into the void all worth it, okay? So I'm working on some things in the background. Another guest is locked in for, I don't even know, next month at some point, start of next month. Another cool little entrepreneur episode. So this guy is in the energy drink world, and he is also heavily tied in with bare knuckle fighting, which we just spoke about. So I'm sure we'll have a yarn about all those sort of things. But I appreciate all the love on Jesse's episode last week. Appreciate all the love on my solo episodes. And I appreciate all you guys. Share the podcast around. Throw it up in your stories. Tag me in it. Just help me fucking grow this motherfucker, guys. I appreciate you all, and I will see you later.